All right, everybody, we are back again. A big thank you for sticking with us there. There's a funny story behind the delay that is not ours to tell. But regardless of that, Tuki here, of course, joined alongside Mr. Sin for the win, and we are ready for our second matchup of the day, hREDS and Färjestad. Again, a little bit earlier on, we saw Sawa Esports and Yipia Vaskala. Sawa walking away with 4 points out of that matchup. So a big result there for a team that has aspirations to finish towards the top half of the standings. Whereas for hREDS, of course, again, as we always mention, two-time defending champs, they are in first place. As we'll take a look at the standings, they are in first place heading into the action today, and still as things stand. You see there, I mean, granted, they have some competition hot on their heels, but with the games at hand that they have, good opportunity to add or at least get that little bit of separation that they have currently just off of those games at hand.
Yeah, absolutely. And this is a big opportunity for hREDS to kind of maintain that one seed, and as you said, create some of the separation here. Färjestad, pretty solid team. Not exactly the start that they wanted or that we expected with the lineup changes that they made. Obviously, Ekin joining this Färjestad team here, but they do have a chance to give hREDS a bit of a run for their money here. That being said, I mean hREDS, they are the team to beat. They're the two-time defending champs, as you said, back to back, and looking for that three-peat to guarantee themselves, securing that the grand finals as well without even having to play anyone.
Absolutely. I mean, Sin alluded towards it, and we can take a look now. Again, a reminder of our new split season format, and of course, the prize pool that is at stake for this season. Of course, we had our winter season. Now we are in our spring season. If hREDS were to walk away again as champions of this season, no grand final is necessary. If a different team were to win that €6,000 prize as champions of our spring season, they would then take on hREDS for that €10,000 grand prize. So a lot up for grabs this season. And like Sid mentioned, for hREDS, you get a win, that 10K is yours. And, if there was ever a team that looks like they could pull off the three-peat, it would certainly be hREDS. But I'm sure Färjestad will have a lot to say about that for this particular matchup. And kind of brings us to the team stats here as we get ready to look at the numbers that are here. And Sin, solid offense for FBK. The goals against not quite where they'd want it, especially compared to a team like hREDS.
Yeah, absolutely. And only 18 goals against for hREDS, 20 less than Färjestad. That's a tough matchup to say the very least. But, Färjestad, one of the top offensive teams. They're right there just under hREDS, just 2 goals for under them. So a chance, for them to kind of get that going. But I'm really impressed still with the perfect penalty kill that hREDS still have over, halfway through this season. It's phenomenal.
Absolutely. I mean, again, we always like to take a look at the special teams numbers. We kind of mentioned, probably much to their chagrin, the struggles of Sawo's power play at times, but indeed to have a 100% penalty kill through those first 16 games of the year, absolutely tremendous stuff. We'll get a look at the lineups here again for these two teams. For hREDS, we have Villapoica, Benito, and the former Nicky Dangles. Maybe a slight change. I don't think we're going to be able to drop the Nicky Dangles, of course, from his name, but now at Nick ANHL, of course. You got Domian, King of Apes on defense, and FaZe in goal. For Färjestad, it's Afe, Malin, and Ekin. Sebi Larson with Laymanens and McSavid between the pipes. And Sin, with that, let's take a look at that center matchup. We always start off with a Benito and Mullen. Very close matchup, two of the better centers in the Elite Division.
Absolutely. And, Benito never has a dominant face-off percentage. That seems to be, just simply not part of his game, but he always has a dominant point total. Once again, leading his team in total points with 29 as a centerman. Hugely impressive. 14 goals, 15 assists. And of course, Mullen, solid face-off numbers. Just 1 point behind Benito, despite, having 2 more games played, of course. But, obviously a great centerman as well. And tied for first amongst assists too, which is very, very good here to see that Färjestad's finally starting to figure things out and got some of the top production guys on their squad.
The winger comparison here again for hREDS. It is Villapoika and the former Nicky Dangles. We're not going to be able to drop that name anytime soon. I hope he understands. Afe and Ekin for Färjestad. And again, Sin, fantastic numbers across the board.
Yeah, and Villapoika still a little bit behind. He's not as far behind as he was because he completely went off the last time we covered this team, and we saw he was still kind of trying to figure out how to get that production going over the course of this season. That being said, I mean, Nicky is doing a great job himself. 27 points in 16 games played, just the 7 goals, but 20 assists. He's really kind of racking it up over there. And Afe, of course, just slightly behind the goals per game mark with 41 shots, getting plenty of chances here. Although Färjestad not relying upon him as much anymore to create the offense and produce the offense because they've picked up Ekin, who's been very good so far. 24 points on the season for him.
The defensive battle here, four of the very best. Domi and King of Apes for hRED, Sebi Larson and Laymanens for Färjestad. Sin, they can do it all. They put up the points. They're super strong defensively. Very intrigued to see just how involved these four are today.
Absolutely. And this is kind of pretty identical. Obviously, Domi King of Apes have a bit of a better production percentage than Sebi Larson and Laymanens do, but they're obviously two very, very solid defensive pairings here. But, the strength of hRED's defense really comes from all of them on the ice there. And, that's exactly kind of where hRED's strength is. All of them kind of work together as one unit. When Färjestad's on, they do something similar, but they're definitely going to have to be on in this matchup here against hRED's.
The goaltenders rounded out. McSavid against FaZe, two of the most consistent goaltenders we have in the Elite Division, two of the best outright. And FaZe has certainly been on the path here to where he might just be able to equal one of the greatest goaltending performances we've ever seen. We've talked about it in the past, what Kape was able to do a few years ago in terms of just raw numbers, the shutouts as well. And FaZe is on a tremendous pace through
Yeah.
14 games played.
Yeah, I believe the record's 12 shutouts, and he's technically on pace to tie it, if not perhaps beat it. But, playing against a team like Färjestad, he'll be hard pressed probably to shut this team out. That being said, hREDS have done some pretty incredible things over their tenure here in the Elite Division. And McSavid on the other side, tremendous numbers out of him, a 188 as well for the GAA, a couple shutouts to his name. And as Färjestad down the stretch here, it's going to be important for McSavid to continue to keep this this level of play up as Färjestad keep looking to push higher up into the seeding and secure that playoff berth.
So with that, we are just a few moments away from the action beginning here. Game 1 of 2 between hREDS and Färjestad. Again, very valuable points up for grabs. I think we could throw it back to the standings one more time for those of you that may have missed it. Again, we talked about it for hREDS wanting to stay towards the top half of the standings, but Sin, look at how close that matchup is for those bottom few playoff spots. Very important for Färjestad to rack up a couple of points here to really kind of keep themselves in the conversation, knowing that other clubs aren't that far behind.
Absolutely, especially a team like Edinburgh, who are just 1 point behind, but with a couple games in hand. I mean, that's absolutely massive. Again, it's such a close race, pretty much from about, you could even argue from 3 all the way down to about 12, 13. It's well within distance for a lot of those teams if you look at the games played, but it's pretty ridiculous. I mean, just how close everything is, and how many teams are vying for those playoff spots, and how many teams even just on the outside are only one good series away. You look at Fallon Coal Miners, HV71, ZSC, they're one good series away from being right back in the hunt.
So again, puck drop here in just a few moments. hREDS and Färjestad, more valuable points up for grabs. And again, a reminder, a little bit later on, or I should say a little bit later on this week, and including tomorrow, Sin and I will be back for more Elite Division coverage, 1945 CEST, about 1:45 p.m. Eastern for those of you on the North American side of things. It is YMCA Esports taking on IQ, as IQ certainly look to get themselves out of a potential relegation conversation. Roots Gaming as well will be taking on Stargazing. So again, the action there tomorrow. We hope you join us for that. And this Wednesday, Sid and I will be here as well for more action for Lunda against IQ and Goons against Sawo. As Sim, for those latter two teams, really kind of looking to knock the other one out of contention for a top 3 spot or so.
Yeah, definitely. And for Lunda taking on IQ, IQ is in a tough spot. But the matchup before on Monday that you guys saw on your screen, just a few moments ago, they're taking on YMCA, who are directly above them in the standings here. So that's going to be a very, very important matchup for both of those teams too.
And a reminder, every Tuesday as well, we have our Pro Division Spotlight. And can you believe it? The playoffs already underway, or at least getting ready to start in our Pro Division. It is that opening round, the round of 16, and certainly some interesting matchups there. You have that number 1 seed in Reality Check, who I believe were the number 1 seed last year as well, just fell short of getting into the Elite Division this season. They take on former Elite Division club in Ghetto Firebirds. The Vexio Lakers send numerous players with elite experience. Deadly Phantoms, of course, and Solkovan Sadet. Super interesting matchup with Deadly Phantoms, of course, having that elite experience as well in the past. Arctic in a matchup against Abia Bro, which
I
is one of
love
the
that.
better names that we have, and Arctic very close as well. They were a Final Four club in the Pro Division last season as well, if I'm not mistaken. So very, very intrigued by our Pro Division and what's going on. And of course, sportsgamer.gg for all the info that you need there. But that is going to be an incredibly interesting tournament as, again, we're down to the top 16 teams in our Pro Division.
Yeah, and a few more red teams as well who have a chance to make their way into the elite and brings even more red into our bracket, as we always so love to call out. If any team out there could theoretically put a patent on the red, it would have to be hREDS. Name aside, the 2 championships in a row. They're looking like they definitely have a chance to do that. But I mean, this matchup here is so important. For hREDS, you want to continue to show that you can continue to beat these top teams, these guys who are going to be playoff teams, and keep that sort of the air of really of kind of the invincibility that they've made over the last couple seasons. And if you're Färjestad, not only do you need points to kind of keep yourself in the hunt, but it do go a long way to show that you could beat a team like hREDS as well.
Absolutely. So again, so much to look forward here. So much to look forward to here throughout the divisions. Again, I said it before, but sportsgamer.gg for all the most up-to-date information. Again, action on the vast majority of the days of the week here. It's always a bit of a sprint Sunday through Wednesday as we are live here on a daily basis. We should be good to go in just a matter of moments for getting the action underway here between this second matchup. A couple of other things to mention here, though. Again, the Wilhelm e-hockey tour currently ongoing, events every weekend. And again, sportsgamer.gg for all the information that you need on everything going on with the Wilhelm e-hockey tour. And of course, as well, we have so much going on here. When it comes to Sports Gamer, want to mention, of course, our IQ Fuel giveaway that we have, giving away a prize package every week until the end of June. We want to see the best and worst that NHL 22 has had to offer you. Use the hashtag eHockeyMoments on Twitter and Instagram for your chance to win. Very intrigued, of course. We've seen some great clips already. I will again shout out one of the, I think it was Lightning that shared a clip of how he one of the goals that allowed him to get knocked out of the GWC. That I don't think anybody is. I don't think anybody would trade places with him to be on the receiving end of that particular goal. So again, hashtag eHockeyMoments on Twitter and Instagram. As Sim, we get a look here at the teams, and surprise, surprise, for the most part, playmakers and a puck-moving defenseman, of course, with the exception of Afe, the left wing, of course, for Färjestad, going with his patented sniper build.
Yeah, it uses that very, very small sniper, and looks like we're going to have a lobby reset here as hREDS some kind of connectivity issue, so we'll have to delay a little bit longer, unfortunately, for this matchup to get underway. So we'll try to reset that as quick as possible here.
Stretch for time, Sin.
Yeah.
Stretch for time.
If you're Färjestad, you know, you get to chirp him now for dodging. Clearly hREDS dodging the threat of Färjestad.
I mean, once you win twice, it's one of those things where you start to get a little bit more protective, and you see a team like Färjestad, it's a scary thing. It's a
Yeah,
scary
absolutely.
thing.
We're
So
actually we're probably doing Färjestad a disservice here. You know, we're gonna hREDS are like, oh really? They think we're dodging. Now we're gonna come out even harder now. Squash that narrative, sarcastic as it may be.
the commentators curse, the jinx will always continue to be prevalent throughout the elite division. I'm sure there are some teams and some players who would not like us to do our jobs here, essentially. But I hate to say it, boys. We gotta we gotta talk it out. It's one of those things. We gotta get some narratives in there, make it a little bit more spicy, and yeah, potentially give motivation to teams that really don't need it, like the two-time defending champions who have been to our last three elite finals. I agree with Molly. 2 minutes for delay of game. I think Nikkei should have to take a penalty right at the start. And yeah, Färjestad on the power play to start things off. Who says no? Aside from a lot of people. But
Uh, it's
oh,
a perfect penalty kill of hREDS though. So you know how detrimental could it be?
mm, so there we go. The teams are back in the lobby, but for how long? That is the question. Again, we should be good to go here in just a few moments for this game, unless Nikkei decides to drop the ball again and delay the action that much more. And if so, again, a change in handle, of course, not Nicky Dangles anymore. Although, on the Twitter side of things, is still at Nicky Dangles. So direct your hate mail there.
Make
If
up your
they're
mind, bud. No.
so indecisive, wins 2 titles in a row, really strong solo player as well, and just drops the Dangles from his name. Now he just encapsulates all of the NHL.
Yeah. He's growing too powerful. No longer Nicky Dangles. Now Nicky all things NHL. So
In
pretty soon he'll be controlling EA and everything, man.
In fairness, that does kind of describe the evolution of his play style quite well from
Yeah.
our time here covering this division, where, yeah, he went from this offensive dynamo to one of the most complete two-way players in the NHL esports scene, regardless of what side of the world you might happen to live on. But here we go, Sid. We are ready to go. First game of two. Something that, this matchup, for all we know, could end up being an eventual playoff matchup as well, whether it be in the first round or the second. I mean, these are two of the best teams in the world, hands down, and very intrigued to kind of see how this one plays out. I mean, as it is, last season, Färjestad made the second round. Granted, they played for Lunda rather than hREDS, but a great opportunity here. It is Färjestad in their home green, hREDS in their road whites, really more of a cream color. They're going to go for that Afe play early, and they score! Seconds into the game, Afe does what he does best, and Färjestad have the lead.
Just as we were talking about in the kind of the pregame, how we haven't been seeing as much of this from Färjestad. They haven't been leaning on it as much. They break it out within the first seconds of this game, really. Slap pass down, Afe beats them and beats FaZe 1-0 Färjestad. That's the way you want to start off here, and King of Apes none too happy about how that worked out. Showing the fight prompt there, shaking his fists a little bit.
The prediction in chat, 90% in favor of hREDS. Färjestad have something to say about that. What a way to start for FBK. Afe's 17th goal of the season entered play today. Tied for 4th in the Elite Division in goals. And one of the most prolific goal scorers that we have had here in the Elite Division for some time now. The perhaps best comparison Sin that we have for him, almost Ovechkin-esque. Just in his ability, you know what they're going to go for. You know how he's going to try to score goals. Granted, we'll say hREDS covered him a little bit better than the Florida Panthers covered Ovechkin yesterday. Don't know if you saw that goal.
Oh, I did.
Wide open again. And Afe finds a way to score again. There's hREDS here in on the attack. King of Apes back into the middle. Benito couldn't hold it. Laid out to the half wall there by Sebi Larson. Lehman's trying to carry in. Ekin there to help out. Okay, nowhere to go. And just, what was it, 47 seconds into this game for the opening goal for Afe. Here's Mullen now. Had a bit of a delay in getting things going here today for Mullen, but an offside call there. Sin already nearly halfway through this first period.
Yeah, and that poke right there from Benito, I believe it was absolutely unreal. Just like no time to get his stick in the lane and deflect the pass, but somehow he did. Just, you can just see, like, it's such a battle to try to gain the line on hREDS, which is perhaps why we tried to see, you know, Färjestad take a stab at the long stretch play early on before they could really get set up or get into that groove, because hREDS are so tenacious defending their own blue line. They're tenacious all over the ice, but it really shows on their forecheck and at their own blue line as well. They're just so good.
Okay, over the line, drops back for Domi. Go down low, and a shot from Villapoika. He scores. A patented play from hREDS. Villapoika finding ways to score from horrific angles. I don't know how he does it, but we're tied at 1.
I mean, yeah, that was a seemingly impossible angle, but beautiful job of just getting that one through. Not poorly played by McSaban by any means. He was just right there guarding the short side, but Villapoika just sneaks that one through, ties the game up, and that early advantage from Färjestad have already kind of been swallowed up and negated now by hREDS, who tie this one up with still time left in the first.
Need 7.5 minutes here to work. For Färjestad, you had to presume hREDS would at least find a way to get one. A little bit sooner than they would have preferred to give it up. Couldn't get that insurance goal, and that one wired just wide past the blocker of McSaban and all the way back down to the other end. A offside call there. 5:40 to play here in the first period. Again, just the first game of 2 between these two teams, and already off to a rather hot start.
Yeah, kind of an interesting play right there. Nicky was quite a bit offside right there. I wonder if he thought the initial slap pass may have been coming his way instead.
Over the line, Lehman. I was surprised he wasn't offside on that one. Does win it back. Shot deflected by Afe in front. Great stop by FaZe.
Kind of went undetected there for a split second. Was able to get himself all alone there. Not the strongest deflection, but still a dangerous opportunity coming out from Färjestad. They get another offensive drone because of it, and Mullen's done good on the draw so far.
High up on the draw. hREDS will come up with it. It is the King of Apes. Handing off for Nike. Now again, Benito in front. Just knocked loose. Again, back in control. Puck loose in the corner. Around the back of the net. Wraparound bid for Nike doesn't go. And all hREDS here for the back half of this first period. Icing call there, perhaps opening the door for FBK in this attacking zone faceoff.
Yeah, they need to capitalize on any sort of zone time they can get, especially in the situations like this when they know how hard it is to be able to beat hREDS on the rush and gain the blue line there. But an errant pass looks like, oh, won't go for icing, actually. Interesting.
Apparently not. 40 seconds to play now. Clock quickly winding down. The puck dumped into the far side. Ekin can't win it off of Domi. Perhaps one more chance here. Benito tried to sauce that one through. Nobody home, and that will do it for the first period. We're getting a look at that Villapoika goal.
It's just a really nice play from behind the net. The pass from Nicky to Benito, and he just passes it right off to Villapoika, who rips it from a tough angle. I mean, I don't know too many people who would shoot from there. Like, not only the angle, but, you know, he was pretty far back. Like, the distance, he was at, like, in the middle of the circle at the bottom. I mean, that's not a tough, that's a tough angle. Like, not an easy shot to make, but he did just that, and that's why this game is tied after that period. And A lot more of a kind of neutral zone war as we sort of expected here. We're getting a look at that first goal coming out. Just a beautiful play. And I wouldn't say completely caught hREDS off guard, but maybe they weren't quite ready for that rush play. And you see in that angle again, as McSavid's getting back to cover that short side, there's just the tiniest bit of space right there between the glove and the pad. And Villapoica able to sneak that one home.
There we go. Second period just about ready to begin. A 1-1 game. We'll see who gets that next goal to find that breakthrough. Villapoica shot. And he's done that all season long, just odd angles, testing the goaltender. Always got to keep them on their toes, and that can open up space for other opportunities. The goaltenders have to respect the shooter as much as he commands that respect. There's Laminins now. Having to take his time and wait for a passing lane to open up. Hands off for Sebi Larson. Färjestad meticulously having to try to weave their way through the neutral zone. Offside call there against hREDS and a big hit.
Yeah, and you can see just how tough it is as we're seeing a pause coming out from Färjestad here. I'm not too sure what's happening here, but they should probably take their time out here.
We'll see what happens here now. As we are waiting word. There we go. So 16:21 on the clock, and we'll have another face-off here in the neutral zone that FBK are able to come up with. Again, struggling Sin right now to gain that attacking zone time. hREDS in on the attack. Great movement. Loose puck scores! Opportunistic as ever. Nicky Dangles. 2 unanswered now for hREDS. They take the lead.
Just such a deadly attack from hREDS. The second they gain the line, just all three forwards moving in sync there. A couple quick passes over. The initial chance doesn't go, but the follow-up from Nicky there right on the doorstep taps that one home, and hREDS have taken a 2-1 lead after the stoppage.
Again, just an unfortunate bounce. Super unfortunate bounce. Rather fortunate, depending on who you are a fan of. As hREDS get the goal, Nicky Dangles, his 8th of the season, and Villapoica sends that one across. Benito's shot blocked by the traffic in front. Again, Färjestad trying to get something going, but rather quickly stifled by hREDS. We do time that to be onside. Benito down low for Villapoica. Nicky Dangles. That one's going to go all the way back to the point. King of Apes. Great bit of skating. Runs into too much traffic. Mullen for FBK. Across into the slot again. Nobody home. Now it's hREDS down the other way. They have speed. Shot. Rebound. And it's stopped on the line and poked in. An all or nothing attempt from McSavid. Let's get another look at it.
A beautiful save. I think this one's going to be waved off for goaltender interference as well. I think that was what the initial call was going to be. Just too much contact with him after he was in the spread eagle. What an attempt from McSavid to keep that one out. And indeed, it will be called back. So, fortunately for Färjestad, the deficit remains at 1, but they got to find some kind of way to attack. I think the play before, Mullen waited a bit too long to try to get that pass. Had he passed before they entered the zone, I think Afe could have beat the defenseman alone with his speed.
An FBK supporter. Hopefully that serves as the wake-up call as FaZe is able to cover that one. And again, for McSavid, perhaps a little bit intentional to go down and generate that bit of extra contact, as well as trying to seal off the post. FBK keep that face-off advantage. Good save by FaZe. Rebound just out of the reach of Ekin. slot. Laymanens has it, sends it down. Offense at a foot race. He's going to win that easily and nearly directed it into the goal on the short side. Great attempt. Job there by Ekin to win this one. Laymanens right back to him. And again, DDD one-timer blocked. Sebby Larson couldn't get that one on goal. Somehow the fast-paced action continues. Just 5 minutes to go here in the second period as the puck chops. Good stretch pass. Here's Benito. Dumps this one in. Won by Nicky, but nowhere to go. And now just 3.5 to play. And Färjestad scored the opening goal of this game in the first minute. 2 goals since for hREDS. Establishes the lead for them. So what Färjestad are able to do. Laymanens has it. Looking, goes to Sebby Larson. That's back towards the point. Ekin again, just nowhere to go. Benito all over him the second he gets that pass. And get the final minute of play. Laymanens. Hand off to Sebby Larson, dumped it at right-hand side. Domi's chop, ineffective. Ekin, good poke check by Mullen. 6 seconds now, it's Domi in possession. And that should do it, and it will as he sees out the time. 2-1 for hREDS after 40 minutes. We got a goal, look at the goal from Nicky to establish the lead for the defending champions.
Yeah, just tapping that one home. And again, it was just a nice attack from them. Just a quick little couple passes over as they skated through his one. And, you know, Nicky doing a good job of what he does best and is actually kind of getting to the front of the net. And what any good player should do, continuously follow the play and get to that front of the net and stop near the front of it. You never know when a puck's going to come out, or, you know, in that case, you know, maybe hoping for, if the play had gone around the net, a pass back from it. Just excellent job of positioning, and that comes from a solid attack from hREDS there. As just a couple quick plays, and you can see the defense just kind of committing a bit too much. One of them going behind the net as well. Can't help but feel like that was a tiny bit of a misplay there, as I believe that would have been from Laymanens on that side of the ice right there, and that kind of left Nicky there all alone in front, and just a tap in for him.
Here we go, third period. Just about ready to begin. 2-1 the lead for hREDS. And it's time to see what Färjestad have in the tank here to try to battle back and get at least a point out of this matchup. Offside call there, though, in the first few moments. And so difficult to just get zone entries and attacking time against a team like hREDS. They're so good at stopping teams from gaining the zone, and once they do, I mean, you can see how difficult it is for Färjestad having to make, you know, quick and numerous passes just to try and hold the puck.
Yeah, just try to save off the pressure and move the puck to an open area. The problem is when you're playing hREDS, there's so few open areas of the ice.
There's hREDS in the attacking zone. Nicky wanted Benito. King of Apes instead. Holding that one down low, goes back to the point. Vilipoika, good kick save. What a feed that was, though, from the point by King of Apes.
Yeah, just unreal vision right there. Threads that pass through to Vilipoika, who I'm not too sure if the delay was on purpose or if he was shocked that pass made it all the way through. Nonetheless, he kind of tried to wait out and McSave it there. Good save by him.
Good save as hREDS just throwing a bit more of a willingness, or showing a bit more of a willingness to throw pucks on goal here. Domi circling and back down low and behind the net, back in front. Apes just couldn't hold that one in.
Yeah, you saw him try with the stick to try to hold it in on the back end there, but it's so tough on that blue line, especially when your feet are behind it. Your stick's just kind of gonna do what it's gonna do sometimes as you try to hold it in. I know defensemen everywhere have wanted some better mechanics trying to walk the line and things like that, but you know, video game being what they are can be tough to program. as hREDS now still down low.
Indeed. 12 minutes to go here in regulation. FBK, just that one goal to show for it. They caught hREDS off guard. Over space here. Sebby Larson in front. What a stop by FaZe. And another one for good measure. And Sin, that is the problem. You do so much to get a chance, and then you still have to try to beat one of the best goaltenders in the world.
That's the play that Färjestad looks for so often in the offensive zone. The low, tight pass to Afe on the doorstep. He's got close quarters, and FaZe still stops it, not once but twice, with the follow-up opportunity on the short side. Unreal display of goaltending there from the hREDS netminder.
Good cycle movement again here from hREDS. They wanted Villapoika on that odd-angle shot. Contested puck. There is the shot from Villapoika. Good save. Loose puck. Back out to the right and recovered by Domi. Bouncing puck. That one might have gone in had it not been for Lehmanens. 8 minutes now for Färjestad. Again, they can barely get over the red line. Villapoika for King of Apes. Back across. Good read by Ekin. Stretch past Domi, taking that one away from Afe. Okay, able to gain the line. Good defense there, though, by Sebby Larson. Okay, on net. FaZe to stop loose. Holds it as Ekin closed in. Great opportunities. What a shot to get that one on net.
Just a beautiful kind of display from Färjestad there. They know they're not going to be able to do anything that looks too obvious right there, and that one came out of nowhere, and still hREDS reacted to it quite well. And almost the shot itself kind of had to be on net just based on the angles, and they're almost able to make it work. Even the follow-up opportunity, Ekin had a chance at it, but FaZe was able to put that glove on it and get the cover right before he was able to.
There's FBK in possession here. 4 minutes left in regulation. And we do have a bit of a swap there of perspective now in favor of hREDS after a bit of technical difficulty with the Färjestad provided stream. So another shot there and a big save by FaZe. We'll be switching back to the Färjestad perspective on the next stoppage. If there is one, there might not be with 1 minute to go. hREDS looking to hold on here. Up by one with 52 to play. Here's Domi, feed in front. Benito denied by McSaven. Great stop.
Absolutely wonderful stop right there as hREDS really kind of threatening there. With a nice bit of passing down low to feed Benito there is on the doorstep. McSaven just doesn't really panic, stays right in front of him and gets the cover.
47 seconds to play. Puck up for grabs. Färjestad have it. Can they get this goal that they need? Here's Afe. Shot from Sebby Larson. Good save by FaZe. Puck sent back in front. Nobody home. Rush attempt here. Benito in behind. Just knocked away. FBK, they still have time, but not much of it. They lose puck. Foot race for it. Nicky wins it and scores. Puts a cap on this game with a second of the game. 3-1 for hREDS. And they're going to get both points here from this first contest.
Absolutely, just a tremendous job from him and poor McSaven. He had not only Nicky bearing down on him, but the potential pass over there too. I couldn't tell if it was Villapoika or Benito streaking in right there. Nonetheless, a goal from hREDS, and with 12.3 left, that will do it for this first game. A 2-goal performance from Nicky, and if you're hREDS, you got to be feeling pretty good. You survived that initial onslaught, an early goal from Färjestad. They tried that stretch play a couple other times and it looked dangerous, but you're able to hold that off and get their offense going as we expect, and they'll be taking this first game here.
Final few seconds, a big win for hREDS, and nearly a goal at the end for Färjestad, but they survived. 3-1, the final score. hREDS move to 14-1-2 on the season.
And unfortunately for Färjestad, they'll drop to 10-7-2 and drop maybe a bit further down the standings depending on some of the teams behind them. And we know how close that race is. There's so many teams with 22 points, 21-20, just behind. It's so close in the middle of the entire bracket here. And I'm sure we're going to see those seedings be switching around quite a bit. A lot of teams making their way towards the left-hand side of the bracket. But in this game, it was hREDS doing what they do best, and that's finding a way. That seems to be always what they do right there. You can see on that plane, I do believe that was Benito in there. I think that's 96 or no, 89. Okay. Number's so close. Yeah, just a tremendous job from hREDS all the way across. They defended well. Again, a bit of the lapse, which allowed that first goal from Färjestad, but that seems to be just what happens. Afe always finds a way, and Färjestad always finds a way to get the puck onto his stick. Think about to the other chance he had on the doorstep, and FaZe turned it aside. That's what makes hREDS so good, is there's really no weak points on their roster. There's no weak points in their game, and that'll give them the best chance to win more often than not, and they come away with a big one right there, an extra 2 points, 3-1 win in regulation. And hopefully we're going to look at some of these replays here as well. We're going to first initially checking out that one in the first minute. Just a beautiful job. Slap pass all the way down. Not enough time for the defenseman of hREDS to react to that. And Afe off to the races. Just splitting the defense right there off the boards perfectly. Goes to that trusted backhand and beats FaZe. But that was as good as it got. Unfortunately for Färjestad, just look at the speed he has. Uh-oh. I know it's not King of Apes on the replay here, but oh, it is actually. Sorry, I thought we still had the Färjestad stream going on. Either way, but absolutely love to see it there. But as I was saying, that was as good as it got from Färjestad here, as it was hREDS the rest of the way. And this impossible angle shot from Villapoika, just a beautiful job from him. And unfortunately for McSavid, a good job of getting back. Interesting animations coming out. He almost looked like he went into a save animation before he got over. I'm not too sure what that's about right there. Maybe he pulled a muscle going down. I mean, dad time catches up to everyone, and Mr. Johan is no exception.
I mean, that looked like I don't know, maybe a core muscle injury. Something spasmed. He had to react to it and couldn't make the save in time. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. Certain features that we have in the game. We now have pulled muscles as a part of the equation.
Yeah, and this play right here was just so good from hREDS, and just so quick that they were able to kind of move that puck, 2 passes. Then it's a follow-up opportunity that doesn't. And that's why positioning is so important. Following up the play, like never really giving up and always maintaining your position. I always say, like, positioning in NHL games is at least 50% of the battle when it comes down to it. You can be as good as you want, but if you're not, in position, you're not going to find yourselves in those opportunities. That's why when we always would say, Villapoik and Nicky Dangles continue to find those loose pucks. Well, it's because they're oftentimes in position. Their hockey IQ is at such a high level that they're going to be beneficiaries of those loose pucks more often than not.
So with that, our first game of this matchup in the books. We'll be back after a brief word from our sponsors here to set the stage for. All right, everybody, and we are back. Again, a big thank you for sticking with us here. Again, the first game of 2 in the books in our second matchup of the day. hREDS walking away with that 3-1 victory. As little Easter egg
for a split second.
Little Easter egg throughout the broadcast, as per usual. Again, Sin having celebrated a birthday yesterday, of course. Now the wise age of 22 years old.
Yeah, there
real.
Oh, I wish.
A real young buck of the broadcast, of course. And with that, Sin, we move ahead towards this next matchup, and very intrigued to see what we see out of Färjestad in this one, again, after only securing that lone goal in the prior matchup.
Yeah, and again, that was just such a good start from Färjestad, but it just goes to show you, like, you almost have to try to game hREDS to gain any sort of advantage, and they did that. They kind of made that quick play at the beginning, got the early goal, and again, that was kind of as good as it got. Their other high-quality chance came from Afe on the doorstep in the brief amount of offensive zone time that they did have, but it just goes to show you how tough it is to really play against hREDS. And now in the second game here, they're going to be looking for that right off the bat, so you're not really going to be able to fool them with any kind of quick strike opportunities off the opening draw.
You saw it there, of course. Tomorrow we will be back on the broadcast for more ECL Elite Division action. But for now, hREDS in their home red, nearly getting an early goal there, taking on Färjestad in the Road Whites. Again, the second matchup here in the fourth and final game of our broadcast here today. Again, we thank you very much for joining us, and a big shout out to our sponsors, of course, again, Wilhelm, Koval, Nakritsi, and ST Hockey. Big save it again, called upon here in the early stages of the first period. hREDS certainly doing their best to avoid trailing in the early stages.
Definitely something, yeah, that you don't want to get into twice in a row. I mean, obviously, hREDS, if any teams have the capacity to be able to come back consistently, it's them as they rip one from the point, but they're definitely going to want to get off to a lead earlier on in this one than trying to put it off. Because, again, Färjestad is a team that can score. They have a lot of quick strike opportunities. We've seen them in a lot of matches upset their opponents, even when being completely outplayed. But hREDS definitely aware of that, especially after the way this last one started. They're not going to want to find themselves in any sort of similar situation. But good job from Färjestad here forcing these turnovers.
I mean, in a sense, it's almost what you have to do, right? You got to decide that personal choice of the balance between forechecking pressure and, respecting the offense of hREDS. But at the same time, if you do put the pressure on that defense, you never know what might happen. Big hit there, but hREDS still in control offensively around the back, and that pass can go all the way back down the other way, and hREDS will be forced to reset. It's almost a sense of you just gotta, go after them and try to hit them with your best shot.
Absolutely. That's what you saw. Both Mullen and Ekin begin to kind of streak up the ice. Ekin and Afe began to streak up the ice when Mullen made that hit there. They're kind of seizing a potential opportunity. They didn't get the puck back, unfortunately, but that's what they know they have to do, because once you let hREDS establish themselves on the blue line, it's nearly impossible to beat clean.
In a sense, trying to go back and forth, shut down the neutral zone. There aren't too many teams, if any, that can do that and go toe-to-toe with hREDS consistently for a full 60 minutes. So why try to beat them at their own style? Why not just essentially have a go? There's a shot on rebound there. Faye again a big save, and that is why you oftentimes just want to do what you can to get shots on goal and test the goalkeeper, because at the end of the day, Sin, he's still one of the best. Like, again, we have so much to do just to get a chance, and then you have to hope the Faye slips up or you just get the puck into an incredible spot.
Yeah, and he never seems to be someone who gets cold with a lack of, chances in front of him either.
Oh my goodness, what a goal for Villapoika. And I'll be intrigued to see that on the replay, and I think Färjestad will feel hard done by that one. Let's get another look.
Pretty incredible, a shot from way back, and it just finds its way onto Villapoika's stick again. Good positioning, stopping at the net mouth there, and unfortunately not the best replay available to see kind of all how that developed, as it did develop so quickly, and how that puck bounced on the way to the net, but I'm sure we'll get a look at it either between periods or at the end of the game. Nonetheless, hREDS jumping out to a 1-0 lead here, and Färjestad on the back foot looking to counterattack.
I do believe that is the 16th goal of the season now for Villapoika, second of the day. Shot from the point, good stop by McSavid. I think it was just an awkward animation there with Villapoika getting that goal just below the goal line. The stick kind of freaked out as it hit the goalpost in the aftermath of it. Stretch pass there, Afe nowhere to go. Another pass here, hREDS willing to take their time. And they have the lead now with 4 minutes to go, and there you go, King of Apes, why not? I mean, by some, I think some would even consider that puck ragging in a sense, but what do you want hREDS to do? If Färjestad are going to drop back while they're losing, you're going to try to force the issue a little bit.
Absolutely. So you try to drop back, make them come in front, just kind of reset the look right there, and well,
on the rebound, Nicky Dangles again in front. 2-0 hREDS here in the first period.
just happens so quickly. A seemingly innocent start to that play. They get the puck in, set up, and then a shot from the point. Domi, and followed up by Nikki on the rebound. Buries it 2-0 hREDS here, and starting to get out of hand now for Färjestad.
2 minutes to play here in this first period. Färjestad, it goes from bad to worse, now down. And here comes Villapoika. He hits the side of the goal. Should have handed it, of course, to the rebranded Nikki NHL. Till he changes it on Twitter, it's not official. With 7 seconds to play, Färjestad maybe one more chance. Here's Lehmanens. Tried to find Afe in stride. He has it. Ekin can't pull the trigger, and that will do it for the first period.
Yeah, unfortunately for Färjestad, really in a deeper hole than they wanted to find themselves in. Really, at any point, they'd obviously prefer to get the advantage here, and unfortunately for us, we get the exact same angle on that first goal, so no telling what the heck happened there with the stick of Villapoika, but it was the second goal, really, that kind of, gave hREDS a chance to begin to run away with it. Again, it's only one period, and it's only a 2-goal lead, but look at the stats. 3 minutes time in attack to 32nd. 4 registered shots to 1, 2 goals to nothing. I mean, it's hREDS when they're in a situation like this. I can't remember really the last time they've lost a game while, being ahead the way they are. And, well, there you go. Interesting kind of animation there. He taps it in, then gets a awkward follow-up animation from it. Oh, man, off the skate of the Färjestad defenseman, which I think threw McSavidov, which is why it looks like he's sliding the other way. He's probably predicting that puck to go a little bit more to his left, so tried to adjust that as it bounced back in front of him. And again, Nikki just kind of cleans it up in front. And Färjestad, they still got time, but they got to get that offense going quickly, and we know hREDS are just going to continue to try to compound that aggression.
Trouble there, puck on the side of the net. Second period underway. We'll see what FBK can do. Have not scored since the first period of the prior game. Caught hREDS off guard. That essentially the initial charge. Right off of the opening bell. And a clean shot, but since then hREDS able to control the tempo here in the pace. Good save by FaZe. Samuel Larson hauled down, and talk about a good opportunity here. Power play coming up for FBK.
Yeah, and this is their best opportunity. They have the top power play in the ECL Elite, nearing 30% at 28% here. So this is their opportunity. Obviously, hREDS yet to surrender a power play goal against this season, but something's got to give. Unstoppable force meet immovable object.
Tie up. Färjestad trying to hold on to it. Ekin just running into layers of defense, and the puck is cleared out. Vincent mentioned the strong power play against the picture-perfect penalty kill, and here's Nikke over for King of Apes, the defenseman stepping up and still holding on to the puck here. He's going to skate it right back out, and the puck dumped back in.
Just excellent work by hREDS. That's a solid near minute killed off on that little sequence alone, and just a beautiful job. And I mean, now it's almost done here, and still looking for possession, and actually a penalty was taken. I believe that was Afe. No, sorry, that's going to be Ekin heading to the box right there. Okay, yeah, the bump was right before the contact behind the net there, so Ekin sitting for 2. hREDS going to have a power play coming up just after a few seconds here.
My only thought off of that PK attempt, what a pain in the ass it must be to play King of Apes.
Yeah.
I don't think I can phrase it any better than that, so apologies if needed, but what a pain he must be to play. Just so good, the utmost confidence in his abilities at the game, and essentially there's always the trolling factor as well. To just hold on to the puck there, skate back to the neutral zone, pass, dumped right back in.
Exactly, and it's not like it's in bad taste. It doesn't skate all the way back to a zone. It's a good hockey play. It's like, okay, they don't want to give me anything. Let's kill a bit more time. I'll pass it over to you, and you'll clear it in. As a shot on net from Nikki there, right off the draw. And
is that over? Yes,
Yep.
It is. 5-on-3 power play coming up for hREDS. The mistake by Sebi Larson. In a bad situation, could become worse here.
Absolutely, a 5-on-3, as you said. hREDS now, what an opportunity for them to really kind of put things away. That's a play by Sebi Larson that he's definitely going to be thinking about and wanting back.
Good shot there, just poked wide. On the follow-up effort, puck held in by Domi. They have Apes working around with Benito. He's stepping in. Domi shot, good glove save. McSavid making some key stops. Here another one, loose puck, and he's able to find it and cover. He got caught swimming a little bit there, but was able to make up for it.
Yeah, these are big stoppages for Färjestad, just kind of going to be able to reset. You see Benito here with the distinct advantage in this game, and where it was Mullen in the last one who had the advantage, but Benito's been great on the draws so far.
hREDS have it off of that tie-up. Slowly closing in. The boa constrictor-like power play of hREDS. Benito shot, another save, and Laminens is able to clear. We're nearly halfway through this game now in terms of regulation time. Not able to gain the line clean. We are back to 5-on-5.
Yeah, it's a really, really big kill from Färjestad there. Had hREDS been able to score a goal, I mean, you couldn't help but think it would have been over at that point. As crazy as it sounds and as good as the offense of Färjestad is, this hREDS seems so good shutting things down here. And they're up by 2 in this one, and still Färjestad hard-pressed to really get any chances on the board for a chance for them to score goals.
10 shots to 3, the current count. 9-2 the face-offs in favor of hREDS. And Färjestad now into the attacking zone. And just nothing doing though as hREDS able to shut them down. Färjestad forced to reset, nearly turn it over, and they do. Domi for Benito. His shot, save, rebound, and another big save. Had a bit of extra time to get over there. Filipoik on the doorstep, and again, McSavid doing his best to keep this a 2-goal game.
Yeah, making the saves he needs to, and the follow-up opportunities as well, as we just saw on that last sequence here. Yeah, it's so tough. I mean, hREDS just continuing to put the pressure on, and more importantly, keep Färjestad away from their own end.
Hit there, no penalty. 2-on-1, maybe even 3-on-1 developing. Here's Mullen, goes back to Sebi Larson, who has no room. A huge missed opportunity to not at least get a shot on goal there for Färjestad. The shot blocked down. hREDS, you would think. 1 goal, likely enough to steal the deal from this point. Here's Filipoik. Can't hold on to it. Sebi Larson being hounded for possession. He loses it. Filipoik out to that right-hand side. Domi now. Nobody home on the pass. Sebi Larson misses that pickup. What a poke check there. Nikke back into the attacking zone. And from Filipoik, another big save. David living up to the namesake, as he so often does. Just bunched up. Nowhere for FBK to go in the attacking zone. Big spin for Nikke. Great job on the back pressure from Mullen. Into the attacking zone. Domi meets him and wins that puck right back. No real chances for FBK since that 2-on-1 that they didn't fully capitalize on. One final rush attempt here for hREDS. A late goal could likely seal the deal. 5 seconds now. Domi in front. King of Apes. The shot, save, rebound. It was a juicy one, but nobody there to bury that puck. McSavid doing his best to keep FBK in it, but they're down by 2 heading into the 3rd period.
Yeah, he's really had a great game here, but like you said, unfortunately, Färjestad just unable unable to really produce any offense. I mean, even really get into the zone. You saw that 2-on-1/3-on-1 there as a pass back to Sebi Larson. He tried to force the pass back to Mullen down low, but it just simply didn't work out like that. As well, we saw the puck just kind of a slide through, and I mean, look at that. Only 3 registered shots for Färjestad after 2 periods of play, and that's simply not going to be enough. And hREDS are really just running away with it. Only 2 goals on the board, but 15 shots, 6 minutes time on attack. You see just how good McSavid is playing, and there's just not enough response on the offensive side for Färjestad, and that's oftentimes because hREDS simply isn't allowing it.
So here we go, 3rd period underway. And we shall see if Färjestad are able to find the back of the net. Again, they have not done so since the 1st period of game number 1. That shot from Mullen broken down. Good zone time here for Färjestad. It's coming to premium, but they turn it over. Nikke trying to generate the speed. He's got the step, and a great poke check right at the end by Sebi Larson. One-timer kick save. Rebound stop. 3rd chance. 4th chance. McSavid standing on his head. Can Färjestad find the offense to reward him for his efforts? Incredible stuff, and unfortunately, hREDS going to the power play. It is a shame to see this performance not be, not be met with an equally great offensive response.
Yeah, absolutely. McSavid is on his game as best as we've really ever seen him this season, and it's just unfortunate. Färjestad unable so far to get some offense, but here comes Affe.
Runs it down low. Good short-handed effort. Villapoika for Domi. Back for Villapoika, loose puck handled. Just like that, we are already halfway through this power play time. One-timer blocked down. Not sure if McSavid got a piece of it. And Mullen, that one on net, forcing a save from FaZe. And oh, the numbers here. 4-on-2. For hREDS, King of Apes, over in a huge trip. And hREDS will stay right back on the power play.
Yeah, and this is, even if they're not capitalizing, this is precious time being ticked away. And more importantly, the stamina bars of Färjestad are not going to be able to refill. We saw them attacking there, so most of these guys are low. And Lehmanens was actually attacking on the last rush too, so his stamina bar's got to be quite low. And as a defenseman, that could be bad here.
Off the draw. hREDS wrap around. Villapoika denied. An unbelievable performance here by McSavid. Another chance. Benito has it poked away. Good D2D work there. Domi for Villapoika. Back in front. McSavid again. He is locked in. Another stop, and finally he's able to cover it. Just one of the better performances we have seen this period, or this season, by a netminder in this game here. And unfortunately, again, just Färjestad can't find a way to break down this hREDS defense. Also can't find a way to stay out of the box. There's hREDS in control here. Again, now King of Apes, 15 seconds to go on this power play. Circles back. Villapoika shot. Good save. Puck still loose. We are back to 5-on-5. That shot blocked. An injury now to Ekin. Another shot save. And he plays it out, trying to maybe catch them off guard. I think he maybe caught his team off guard. Lehmanens, now it's Ekin. Let's see what Affe can do. They win it back. Sebi Larson for Lehmanens, right back out to the neutral zone. One dumped in, 8.5 to go. Big hit and a delayed call, and Sin. This is the moment right here, right now. Power play coming up for Färjestad.
must-score situation here. That was a very large run that Domi took at the his opponent right there. Gets called for, I guess that was boarding. And yeah, must-score situation for Färjestad. Will they be the team to finally get a power play goal against hREDS?
Time face-off here. Tie up. Puck in control. FBK. It's Mullen. It'll be Larson from Mullen now. Larson again working it with Laminins in front. Off. Couldn't get the shot off. Ekin now. Again in front of FaZe is able to cover.
Yeah, and that was Afe again on the doorstep. I think the pass was trying to go to him, hit a skate, and he couldn't quite get a stick on it after that. So far, hREDS surviving here.
Off the face-off. Let's see who gets control of this one. It is a clean win for Färjestad. Laminins. In front, shot stop, Mullen, and the puck goes through out to the other side. Unable to clear, though, they keep it alive. And off face pass, nobody home. Oh, and I mean, I don't know. I don't know what you say to that. An offside call there with 3 seconds left.
Yeah, that's a rough one. If you're Färjestad, it's been so hard to get the offense going. They just seem, you know, they're just a bit too jumpy right there, and no one was at the point there. And yeah, just it was such a good job to keep the play alive initially too, and they are looking so good on the power play. Chances abound, and just to not be able to keep that going here, it feels frustrating. And you know, with just 5 minutes left, they still need 2 goals.
This one is dumped into the far side. Here comes Nike. He has help. hREDS. Again, that 3rd goal would certainly do it. FBK. Have it knocked back. And the time continuing to be their biggest enemy. Sebby Larson fighting to try to keep that one in. Gets ran over. King of Apes weaving his way through. One-timer from Domi. Another big blocker save. Final 45 seconds here. Perhaps in this game, unless we see a miracle comeback from FBK. There's Benito. Shot wired just wide. Low glove side. Delayed call here. And it will be an FBK power play with 33 seconds to go. And we will see the extra attacker out as well.
Yeah, and it's been desperation time, at least for the last few minutes, but this is it. I mean, you have to score, and you have to score quickly off of this draw, which is why you see the goalie being pulled. So McSavitt will be a skater on the ice. We'll see where he positions if he just rushes to the front of the net.
Laminins for Sebby Larson. Mullen shot. Faye is able to make the save.
27 seconds now remaining. Again, you still need a follow-up goal after this. It looks like they're looking for one kind of look there, but still, speed is of import here.
Sebby Larson has it back on the forehand. Rockets one down low. Nobody home. King of Apes able to find Benito. Benito just misses the empty net. Final 12 seconds here for Färjestad. It's hREDS in control. Benito clears it out. Empty net for King of Apes, who will walk it home to cap this one off. 3-0 hREDS. 4 more points on the board. Sin, you knew he'd walk it. He knew he'd risk it on the time.
I know. I had a feeling he was gonna walk it in as close as he could. I'm like, man, if something goes wrong, he would probably laugh it off, but that would be hilarious if something did go wrong. He walked it all the way in as close as he could before ripping that shot. And hREDS, another big victory, and that's another shutout for FaZe.
His 7th, I do believe, now on the season, and What a performance there from hREDS. I mean, limiting FBK to just one goal at the
Yeah.
same time. And I want to put it nicely. I mean, McSavid had a tremendous performance today, particularly in that second game. It's so difficult because you don't want to simply discredit, how good hREDs are by saying that Färjestad shot themselves in the foot. Like, it's very difficult to play a team as good as hREDs. At the same time, there were numerous mistakes, and I think, if you look at the collective foot of Färjestad, there's enough holes in said foot from when they shot themselves in the foot to resemble some kitchen utensils. I mean, I don't know. It's just we saw some moments there where this could have been a closer series than what the scoreboard indicated.
Yeah, there it definitely was. As we're getting another good look at the crazy animation coming out from, from Villapoica right there. I'm sorry, man. That's too good. Um,
Well, good
yeah,
is
just
a word I would not use, but to each their own.
yeah. So, what the heck was our train of thought going on? As I believe we have King of Apes feed going on right now, and he's getting the
It wouldn't be an
absolutely.
H. It wouldn't be an hREDS hosted stream without King of Apes being the one to stream it. So
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, yeah, McSavid was absolutely unreal. And I think you were right. There's some opportunities that Färjestad allowed to go by the wayside. And when you're playing a team like hREDS, that can't happen. I mean, that errant pass on the power play, um, then the really, it was that 3-on-1 for me that did it. And Sebi Larson, he's got to shoot the puck. You get that pass back, rip that puck on. You have two players crashing the net, but instead he tried to slide that one back to Mullen when you had, I think, it was King of Apes playing the Starfish defense. He was, down on the ice, spread eagle. It's going to be so hard to kind of squeeze that pass through here, as you see just how close King of Apes was before ripping that into the net and
and
taking a
slam.
crossbar to the face and
Yeah,
at the same time.
close he was to slamming his face off the bar.
Yeah, just got to be careful with that. The man, he's a good looking guy. Too many plays like that, all of a sudden, all you got's going for is that NHL skill.
Well, at least he's in
And he is
Finland.
about 6'8", I think, too. So he's got that.
At least he's in Finland. I think dental work's more affordable there
Oh,
compared to over
definitely.
here, just in case. So he's got that going for him at the very least. I don't know how we can sum up that game. That was a patented hREDS performance, trolling and all in some instances. And for FBK again, just one of those matchups and where you're playing the best team in the world. You want to try to be able to pick up a point here and there if you can. I mean, we've seen it. hREDs are not perfect this
Mhm.
season. It is possible to take points off of them, but for Färjestad, very much in the mix of a very interesting, playoff battle that's developing. And all four of their remaining opponents, if not actually all five of their remaining opponents, are very much right there.
Yeah.
They play Urabro. I think they have a makeup series against Urabro that they haven't completed yet. They play Frölunda tomorrow. And then you have Conquer Gaming, Goons, and Ipivaskala to round out the season. Like, that is not easy. I'm going to be very intrigued to kind of see how Färjestad's season goes from this point on, with, again, a very tough schedule ahead and knowing that, again, this is maybe the most competitive playoff race we've ever seen.
Yeah, absolutely. And what a game that was for McSavid. And it sucks because at the end of all things, it's a loss. And I know that's what's going to bother him the most at the end of the day is that, he feels like maybe he could have stopped some of those other ones. But man, at the same time, you're not going to win a game when you don't score. But yeah, McSavid was absolutely incredible in that one. And if he's really locked in going down the stretch, Färjestad he's got to start rewarding him with a bit more goal support as well, for sure. Because what a performance out of him.
So again, sportsgamer.gg to follow along with everything that we have going on this season. Sin and I will be back here tomorrow, 1945 CEST, again, 1:45 p.m. Eastern. For those of you on the North American side of things, YMCA Esports taking on IQ, Roots Gaming, and Stargazing. Two very important matchups. All four of these teams still with a lot to play for. So again, we look forward to bringing you that action here in week 5 of the regular season here in the ECL Elite spring competition. And to round things out here, of course, again, a happy belated birthday, of course, to Mr. Sim for the win. Again, just it's amazing. He's wise beyond his years, just 19 years old. Um,
Yeah, okay, I like how it keeps getting lower at this point.
oh goodness. You can of course follow Sin on Twitter at SinFTWProd. Look him up on Spotify, Paul Cinders, of course. And again, I am everywhere at Tuki24. And hey, every night you can catch Sin playing NHL 2K10 with me on Twitch.
Heck yeah.
Well, with that, everybody, again, thank you so much for joining us. A big thank you to those behind the scenes for helping make things happen. And congratulations to Ekin for not fully locking himself outside of his apartment. He did get back in to
I
be able
believe
to
it was
play these
Mullen.
games. It
It
was
was
Mullen.
Mullen.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Yeah, congrats. See, Ekin definitely didn't lock himself outside of his apartment. We're going to throw him under the bus instead of Mullen. Mullen's the captain. He can throw people under the bus all he wants. With that, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night.